Welcome back to the Middle Major American Qualifiers. We are here in the grand finals, game number 2 between Digital Chaos and Shazam. We have a potential best of 5 with us now, of course, going into game number 2. Will we get a at least 4th game, or will we move on? Well, let's see. We are here. My name is Mutt. With me is Fogged, and yes, that is the most important thing as we start things out, is that they did not ban Bounty. That is very interesting, because Digital Chaos has first pick, Shazam with the next 2. They're going to take the Slardar, so Shazam has the opportunity to pick the Bounty Hunter. This is what we were talking about. Sox have played it so well, and I feel like Digital Chaos are almost inviting them and saying, like, listen, you could pick Bounty, but we know what to do with it, all right? We know how to play against it. So that's the thing.
It just seems like Slardar is the hero of NA, it seems.
He's been played so much. God.
You know what's cool is, too, we were talking about, I think, yesterday, how Moo was not like the innovator entirely, but he was one of the upcoming innovators of the Slardar and the offlane and stuff, doing the Tranquil boot build that most people weren't really doing, and
right.
He was rushing into 4-staff, which like nobody was doing.
Right.
And now, after the meta's changed a bunch since that point, because that was around ESL.
The Frankfurt Major. Wasn't it?
It was around the Frankfurt Major when Secret was picking it all the time.
Yeah.
And now Moo, again, with this new meta coming around, he's like, it's not him playing in most of these games.
Yeah, but I'm sure he has a huge influence on Slardar and how it's played. Precisely. It's one of his very many off-lane heroes that he has a giant pool of.
And they leave?
There's no bounty. There's no bounty. Shazam. They picked the same. They picked the Mirana. The line's new. Obviously, the line was picked by Digital Chaos last game. What do you think about this? Because Digital Chaos, they leave it right open for them. They have to pick bounty here, don't they? Or maybe not. I don't know.
What other heroes are open? So there's Batrider. They last picked Bat, so this isn't very favored in this. I don't see why not. Maybe they want to change it up. They don't seem like the team that likes to draft the exact same.
No, they
heroes.
Don't. That's for sure.
They
and
really like to change it up.
They that's the thing. They like to say, okay, listen, you can ban these things, but we have other strategies ready to go. That was why they picked the draft strat against Evernova S. I think they wanted to show that they had more than just one thing they could do. But I honestly would be surprised to see not a bounty pick, personally. Not super shocked, but I would be a little surprised. There's no in-game audio because I think I screwed up, but that's okay. We'll deal with it later. Webboss will come in and fix everything. No problems there. 1 minute and 30 seconds left to reserve time for Digital Chaos. I mean, that's what we're talking about, right? It's just bounty or something else, something not completely different, but something different.
Another support.
Yes. I think so.
They've been picking a bunch of.
But what would be
Dazzle
strong enough to pick second pick over a bounty hunter, though?
Yeah, I don't really know. Maybe Bane. They've been picking it a bit. Maybe it's a kind of like deny type. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see really why they wouldn't go for the bounty.
I feel like DCR would be like, why didn't they ban it? Why didn't they pick it? Are they just like, do they know how to play against us? They didn't do it in the first game. They're gonna go Venge
instead.
Now it's gonna get banned. It's gonna ban now, I think. But this also leaves a one less ban against Weeha. Maybe they're like, okay, we feel confident against the if you pick bounty, we'll ban Lone Druid or something like that. Maybe that was the thought process there. It's hard to get in these teams' head, man, especially when you're not, you, and you've played Pro Dota for a while. Me, not so much, sadly, but
I'm starting to think that maybe Misery wanted to play the Venge in this game, and he wanted to play either like Venge or Line in this game, and since the Line was picked up, he doesn't want his other hero to get banned out, so he grabs his Venge.
Okay.
That would be kind of logic. It also, of course, synergizes very well with the Slardar.
Yeah,
with the
armor reduction.
And it synergizes versus Shazam's heroes, because Swap versus Mirana and Line is perfect, because, of course, if somebody's locked down by the Line or the Mirana, they have potential of getting fingered, and if they get swapped out, they get to re-engage the fight.
Yeah, and I think also on top of that, it's Roche advantage too. Yes. I mean, you're not on Dire side, so you don't have that immediate access, but you have enough of an access point now with the change that happened a while ago to the Roche pit that you can get in there and you can kill it very quickly. Especially if you have a Beastmaster too. If you have a Beastmaster, you get off your book and your boars, you get in there, that thing will die quickly. Like every other time I've seen Roche, even with a little bit of minus armor, doesn't die fast. With this particular 2-hero setup and like a book 3 from a Beastmaster, dies almost instantly.
Yep.
So there is that potential for Digital Chaos. I'm sure Roche will be a thing that has happened.
Venge is always kind of like a safe pick, and I feel like it will be for a long time as long as he has that skill set, just because he gives you a safe, like tanky type hero supporting the safe in the beginning 8 stages of the game, and then of course he buffs everybody's physical damage, so it gives you push, it gives you BKB piercing damage, obviously, because it's physical, and it gives you those type of potential for Roshan as well as pushing towers, like I said.
So there's a lot of options here now for the ban. It is the Lone Druid ban, which I like a lot from Shazam. I do
think,
like that a lot.
I think that's the right approach. I heard them actually talking about on the panel how Shazam tends to like to ban these like farming mid heroes. They don't really like to play versus those type of farmers. So not too shocking.
I
to
could see
ban.
that. I could see that, especially because of how hard MSS got shut out last game against the Weehaw Lone Druid. It seems to be one of his favorites for right now. Weehaw has others that he can play. He's played Wind Ranger, which is pretty. It's a little bit less farming oriented, but it is still farming oriented. You could have a big impact. I think he does play a little Ember. I'm not sure. I think he does. I could be wrong about that.
Mojo?
No, Weehaw.
Yeah, but I don't think that's his favored heroes.
Meepo could be the choice here. Also, if they don't ban it out, so you have to like. There's just so many options that you just have to like. You have to play around, and it's so scary if you're Shazam right now. They ban out the Drow instead.
Again?
They say that's probably a better ban with Venge and Slardar. I
Mhm.
would ban out Drow there because they did have those two heroes in their Drow push. I think with the exception, they had Slardar. No, they didn't have Slardar. They had the Venge though, and that push strat against Evernova S, which is right there. Yeah, they had the Venge at the very least.
Yeah, they had some real full push heroes though. They had Venge, Invoker, Furion,
Yeah.
Drow, and then they had a Spirit Breaker.
Yeah.
And they actually won that game super quickly.
Yeah, that was the 19-minute game, and I thought it couldn't get quicker than that, but I was wrong. So things happen. Darkseer banned from Digital Chaos. That kind of lost them the game 3 between Shazam and Digital Chaos in the winners bracket final. So yeah, here's the story, guys. If you're just joining us, Digital Chaos and Shazam, they went toe-to-toe in a best-of-3 series. Shazam came out the winner and took a 2-1 advantage. Digital Chaos was scheduled to play up against Dragneel, a American hodgepodge group of players with a lot of individually talented people, one of which you're very familiar with, Fogged, and #the King.
#the King.
But Dragneel's Mason, who is a TI4 third placer, unfortunately his internet went down right as they got into the game and got 3 minutes in, and Clairvoyance kind of just GG'd out. They loaded into the next game. He DC'd again, and that was it. They just forfeited the entire series, which is one of the most disheartening things that could possibly happen to not only Dragneel, but to Shazam as well, because you want to break, you want to watch DC play, you want to see what they pick up. And we talked about it in the game number 1. We don't have to talk about it too much, but it sucks.
Yeah, it really does suck for Dragneel. But either way, you know what? They would have had a really hard game going in if they did make it into the grand finals.
Right.
Even going into that best of 3, they had very little, not like no odds, but they had low odds.
I think if you went onto one of the betting sites, it would be 15% to whatever.
Something like that.
Yeah, it would not be very great.
And now, like you were saying, they've been pretty much exclusively picking Brax Beastmaster, and again, there it is. So that's definitely not definitely, but more than likely going to be the Brax Beastmaster.
So here's the setup. No Meepo ban for Weehaw, no Saksa Bounty Hunter ban, and that those are both high possibilities, I'd say. I wouldn't, maybe not Meepo being a high possibility, but the Bounty Hunter not being picked in the 3rd or 4th. I mean, you have Avenge, and that's kind of your 5, I think, and you use Bounty Hunter as a roaming 4. I don't know. What do you think?
They kind of like we were saying, they kind of like to change stuff up.
Yeah.
I think the Bounty could still be fine, like perfectly fine, but I guess they don't feel like they want it this game.
Is the line that are they afraid of the line that much? I don't know, man. Maybe it's something to do with the line. That's the reason why they don't want to pick it up. But maybe they just want to change things up, show that they have other options, and they pick up the DK, which they picked up before. That was also in game number 1, and they dominated that game, and they had an IO with it. So does the IO come next for Digital Chaos, do you think, Fogged?
Definitely possible. I think usually we usually see Misery playing like exclusively on that like Venge or the Wisps, so I don't really think that Saksa plays it too often.
He did do really well with it in the game they did play. Oh, I can't remember. I think it was a Saksa IO. I'm pretty sure it was. I think no, it was Misery. Okay. All right. Well, it worked out for them. That's not really one of Misery's favorite heroes, I think, but he could play it. 20 seconds left on reserve time for Shazam.
Yeah, both games they actually picked the Dragon Knight. They had a Wisp, and they actually had a healer as well. So maybe we'll see. We'll probably see what Saksa play like a Witch Doctor or a Dazzle, perhaps. Pretty good synergy with the Slardar.
There's the
And we
Invoker
do
from
see an
Shazam.
Invoker for Mojo.
Mojo Storm Stout's Invoker is pretty legendary.
So that's a support Mirana.
Yeah, and I'm fine with this unless they want to. But we talked about how Beastmaster could be used as support or offlane, but we've stressed that they really only use it as Brax in the offlane for the Beastmaster, and I think that's fair. So Mirana is going to be the roaming support, I would imagine, and yeah, I think this is a great pick for Shazam, honestly.
Yeah, it does great versus the Dragon Knight in lane, but I feel like it can kind of be a bit scary. And yeah, okay. So they do go for the Wisp, and it is going to be Socks of Venge. You know, it's not out of the ordinary to see that because Venge isn't really the hardest hero, I guess, to play. Like, you know, he's pretty straightforward, the things you have to do with him.
Yeah.
So we will probably be seeing the Misery Wisp and the Vengeful Spirit. So, yeah. I thought they'd kind of change it up. Maybe they would have gone for the Dazzle.
I
do
think
go for that safe Wisp. It is the strategy that they've been running.
But this is a problem. I guess you kind of have to just sit Mirana mid now, right? Or even the Lion, I think, and just try to help out Invoker as much as possible. I don't think he's going to get completely shut down in this lane.
But that's not even really like a kill lineup, you know? The Dragon Knight IO isn't really like
No,
going for
I don't
kills
think
or
he'll.
anything.
I don't think he'll die.
They're just farming. He's just like guaranteeing
But
the lane.
that's how they won the first game. So they picked Alk for MSS in the first game of the last series. Then they dual laned him with DKIO, and he got nothing. He got absolutely nothing. And you can actually come back with obviously your acid spray by stacking up camps, and he was still not really anywhere near farmed on the Alchemist.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing, is just shutting down the Invoker's farm.
Yeah, so maybe we'll be seeing... So what, we need Moo's hero last, more than likely. So there's the Sand King, the Furion, and the Void are the three that come to mind.
So Furion's banned out.
Furion is banned.
So Void and Sand King.
Void doesn't have good synergy.
I think they picked Sand King in the first game. They could also do Slardar theoretically. Off-lane Slardar is not out of the question. What else have they been playing in the off-lane?
They have... It's a lot of Sand King and Furion.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, a little bit of... Maybe like one Axe game, which I don't think was really good for them, and then they had a tie.
Yeah, that's right.
They
did play the Axe in that second game in the last series. They're gonna go Doom.
Oh, that hero's still there. Would you look at that?
Wow, 5th pick Doom. At the beginning of this tournament, I would never have believed to see a Doom get this far in without being banned. That's kind of nuts. And I think
that's a pretty scary lineup.
Yeah, it is.
They only have the real one initiator with the Slardar, and I guess the Dragon Knight once he gets his Blink Dagger. Or his Lothar, whatever he opts to do.
Is there a chance that TC plays the Mirana and they still pick up another support here? I don't think so, but there's a possibility. Well, no, just kidding. It's Morphling for TC. And we'll see how... They won with this hero in Game 2. And he is going to be carrying a Lincolns, which is going to be huge, obviously, against the Doom from Moo. What do you think, man? What do you think about this?
DK seems innately pretty decent versus Morphling. He's got a lockdown, and then Dragon Breath is a actual 35% reduction straight up based off your stats. And Morphling, as we know, is a pure stats damage dealer. So that's going to be a full 35% chunk off of his damage there.
Yeah.
If he gets hit by the Dragon Breath.
Yeah, but TC's going to be playing it, and he did play it mid in the matchup we saw earlier. I don't know if he plays it mid against the DK, though. I don't know if he decides to go that route.
I think SVG needs to get a lot done in this game for Shazam to be able to win. I really like
that. Seems to be the major case with, I think, their victory so far. But unfortunately, the hero that does the most for him has been banned out.
DC just has a kind of like overall evenness of their draft. Shazam's looks good because they have a lot of like mixed damage and everything. But DC has like objective takers as well as multiple different like 2 different forms of initiation, tanky frontliners, where Shazam kind of lacks that tanky frontliner, I feel.
Yeah, they have the Beastmaster. That's about it. I mean, Invoker's not going to be that guy. Lion and Veron are not going to be that guy. So
again, Moo TP's straight to the top lane.
He's got to drop his ward down.
Same ward.
Nope, oh, he decided against it. He's going to put it. He pinged it out. He's going to put it roughly around this area, I think. Back here, maybe.
Nope,
on the cliff. On the cliff. Okay, that's fine.
Get fooled.
I got owned. My squigglies mean nothing now.
Jason as well puts one on the cliff. So interesting.
That's really cool. I like that. Because the Doom is inevitably going to go back to that camp to jungle, I think, at some point, and use his Devour to get some farm in that regard.
I'm usually not a big fan of that ward, though. Putting an
they know it's there, though. They saw him walk back up. He should have went the other way.
Yeah.
They're gonna counter this. They have sentries on a couple of heroes, I believe.
That's a sick-looking ward, though. It's like a Venus flytrap. I really like that ward.
I have never seen this ward. Snap and Splyfly. Cool.
That is really cute.
That's an adorable-looking ward.
I'm envious.
That's awesome. All right, MSS is going to pick up the Wraith Band into Aquila, the standard build. Four-man shield for DK. This is what he's done before.
He did that before? Okay,
yeah, he did that in the first game. So that makes him, with Dragon's Blood and a poor-man shield, I really don't see how he takes too much damage other than like Sunstrike.
Yeah,
and then the Forge Spirits.
He should be just fine with Misery behind him.
So they're going to secure Weeha's farm, and they really like doing that, as you saw last game. He'll pick up a bounty rune for himself. MSS will pick his up. This is not going to be an easy matchup for the Invoker, but MSS, he is known for his Invoker play. This guy is a very good Toto player for... He's not that young anymore, but he's still up there in terms of young players.
Yep.
And,
SVG does ward at that big camp from Moo, so he's not going to be able to get that one just yet.
Yeah, but they knew that, and they drop a sentry as well. I don't know the
Yeah, he
spawn
blocked it.
boxes.
Yeah, he blocked it.
Okay.
That blocks the box.
Okay, but they, by the way, they do know that the camp is. They have vision on that camp. Moose is gonna go to the jungle straight up. No Iron Talon, picks up the ensnare creep as well as the Raised Dead, the Dark Troll Summoner. And he's just gonna get right to farming at this point. So he's not even gonna try to contest the farm of TC, which is really good for him. TC gets off to a fast start, gets an early Liquid Sphere. We can see what he do. We can see what he does with it. So.
Yep. Good thing for Shazam is that Brax should be able to get a decent amount of experience in this off lane. Venge Slardar not really able to zone out Beastmaster too hard because of the double bore.
Yeah. He's going to have to be careful, though. The Wave of Tear first for Soxa, just to make it easier to kill these boars, I think. And if they wanted to go on him with the Slithering Crush, they could with the physical damage. SVG's going to roam bottom. He's going to help him out. So Invoker's not going to get much help mid, but MSS doesn't seem to mind. He's got, what, 2 last hits right now to the 4 of the Dragon Knight. Not unexpected. Missing out on a couple, unfortunately, just because of the tower. And, well, that's not great. They did D-ward that, no, it's still there, the Ubercliff ward for the Doom. He walks through it. He's going to head back to top, or he's level 2 now. He's secured that.
As soon as he saw the Mirana bottom, he makes the rotation toward the top lane.
Yeah, good call. And he's just going to run right in with the Infernal Blade onto Jason. He's going to have to Earth Spike him. Moo doesn't have the mana for an ensnare, but look at the damage he's pumping out right now. They're kind of trading equally, but at some point this is going to go in favor of Moo. Another Earth Spike will be ready here in 3 seconds. He's got a Hex. I don't think he can get this kill.
Oh, Moo's in trouble.
TC is actually coming in. No, they have the Tether coming up. They missed the Earth Spike, and now it's troublesome. TC is going to get Inferno Bladed. He has his waveform. He's going to have to use it defensively to get out the Earth Spike. It wasn't on point. The overcharge might have saved Moo anyways. So good rotation from Misery. That early. I did not expect that at all.
Yeah, I thought maybe that they would have enough time to get the Hex and the lockdown before Misery would make it there in time with the waveform, but does not happen.
Is going to rotate. Courier's coming, but he might not see it in time. Send the illusions over there, SVG. You could get that Courier kill. No! It's going to go around anyways. I think it's going up towards top. That's just going to hold on. They don't know where the Mirana is. SVG still missing off the map.
Great awareness by DC again, though, hiding the Courier for a second. Like they just seem very on top of their game today.
Yeah, again, this is what we saw from them the entire tournament, why they were undefeated up until that last series they played. And, well, they'll get another victory for Game 1. In Game number 2, they're having a pretty good start here. No first blood. They're farming well, though, for Digital Chaos. Sprint's going to come. They're looking for SVG. They get the Slithering Crush off. He's got his leap. The Magic Missile, they get their stuns properly. He's going to leap away. The Centaur Conqueror's top will help them. His Resolution gets stunned up. He probably would have survived anyways.
If that Centaur Conqueror came out like a second earlier and stunned SVG, that would have been so depressing.
That would be miserable for him.
But it's surprising to see Brax only having 1 CS. I thought he'd actually be farming pretty well in this lane.
Level 3, he is getting experience, but I don't think he's getting as much as the Doom is top lane, as Misery is now helping him out. It's about equal.
Yeah.
And the DK has had a good enough time that he's been left alone, and MSS is 4 CS behind him. And MSS, this will be a little bit easier for him now, but I'm not sure by how much. The Breathe Fire will continue to reduce the damage, and I think Weehaw will continue to spam that. Moo, looking for another Inferno Blade, just running in. Hit him with it, whack. Earth Spike, ready to go. They've got the Hex up as well. They're going to go for a waveform momentarily. He's low, but not low enough. That Tether and that bottle recharge is just too much. The arrow's going to hit, though. Can they get this kill? They've got the waveform. The Sunstrike's going to go. There's the Earth Spike. There it is. TC gets first blood. Great rotation from SVG, having that TP ready to go, and it looks like Moo maybe just a little too overconfident, but not expecting that great arrow coming out from SVG. What a player.
Yeah, great rotation. That was really heads-up play there by SVG. But also, they did expend a lot of resources to kill him, and now we do have Moo fills up the bottle for Misery, and they're going to go right back at it, which is really nice because now TC is sitting at very little mana, not much regen other than that Ring of Health, and Jason is completely bare.
He's got 2 charges. I feel like Fun probably has to go back home at some point, Fun being Jason, and he's got enough money for boots, and hopefully that'll help out. Meanwhile, the Mirana level 3 continues to arrow farm in the jungle. He'll find a Hellbear Smasher for his good measure. Take that 84 gold to the bank. What's MSS doing right now? 13 last hits to 20. Weehaw continues to just have an amazing match in mid in almost every game, it feels like.
I think it's just funny when he gets right-clicked. He takes like 0 damage from Invoker.
Poor man shield, Dragon Blood, I have armor, and damage block, you're not hitting me, pretty much.
Yeah. Invoker has 100 base damage, but he just still only hits him for like 30.
Even with the Forge Spirits, too.
Yeah.
They're going to try to set up for an arrow mid SVG. There's no ward here for the Radiant squad, so he'll be patient. Actually, there is a ward. There is a ward.
That's a very hard kill.
I did not see that ward up on the cliff, but it is there. So I think they might have spotted SVG rotating in. It's gone now.
Yeah, either way, that's an extremely difficult kill on the Dragon Knight. They have to basically have him tanking creeps as well if he gets arrowed with the Forge Spirit hitting him and basically unload the entire arsenal. And then
Yes.
even then, they might not kill him.
You have like Sunstrike, Force Spirit, maybe TP in another hero to help out, honestly, just to kill this freaking Dragon Knight who's so damn tanky and continues to get good farm. Tethers up. MSS immediately backs away, not really wanted to deal with that. He says, screw it. I'll just, I guess I'll miss out on CS.
Time to tower pressure if they choose to.
Yeah, if they want to go for the Elder, yeah, there it is. As you call it, they're going to pop the Elder Dragon for him. He could breathe fire the creep wave. The arrow coming in. Ooh, just barely missing. SVG setting up. They know that he's here now. They might not want to push too far in. And they want to get BCS and at least a little bit of tower pressure with this early Elder Dragon form. He's going to breathe fire, bring the creep wave down, and elsewhere they'll try to get farm while this is happening for Shazam.
Something else we didn't really touch up on was about the Wisp, is that he's also another factor to disengage, just like the Venge. If somebody does get super focused down by like a Roar, or they get caught by an arrow or something, they can just relocate them into a better position.
And this is why DK works so well, because he's so damn tanky to begin with. Or a Slardar with an armlet. How are you supposed to kill them before a relocate comes out?
Yeah.
Misery, if he hits his R button, he gets the Q off, the tether.
Jason is set up. He looks like he wants to go for a wrap on Misery.
Is this an Invis or a smoke? It's a smoke, and it's about to run out. There's no vision, though. No ward coming out. The illusion might scout it. Misery, the first target. I don't know if he saw him. No pings coming out. Looks like they say back now. They did see him. They'll tether away. A lot of time wasted for Jason as he rotates and looks for that kill. While this is all happening, down bottom, there's great farm for the Slardar. Resolution, his armlet, it's going to be at the same time as what he got last game. And Brax is just sitting in the trees, Legion experience. Does he have more CS? He's got 10 now. That's at least something. And he's almost 6, though, and it is nighttime for at least another minute. So if he gets 6, they could find a smoke gank and look for a roar, potentially, and try to find that kill.
Yeah, very calm and slow-paced early game. 7 minutes in, only 1 kill, leading for Shazam.
I'm not that concerned about the Invoker. If he gets the Midas at an okay time, this game becomes that much easier for Mojo.
The only reason I feel not worried for him, but for them, is because how much damage they really got with that first Dragon form. The tower's basically dead, and Mojo was in the lane. It's not like it was like those situations where your mid laner goes and ganks and that happens. It was straight up 3 people mid, and they did it
Soxa
anyway.
gets that ward back behind. He's about to get Magic Missile. No, he's too far back, and they will get the tier 1 tower. Soxa just ensuring and making sure that he can get that tower and doesn't get denied. Now bottom lane, it looks like they're maybe looking for resolution. SVG, they've got Roar. They're going to use it. Here we go. They're going to jump on bottom lane. Starstorm Arrow's going to come in as well. Great Slitherian onto 2, and I don't think they can get this anymore. Not with a tether coming out. They TP it in. Misery. Roar now expended. Soxa's here in the true line as well. He looks like he was about to, but he got crushed at the end.
Interesting.
SVG knows that he might be in trouble, and especially Brax as well.
Brax.
Arrow's going to come out. They'll get the kill. Resolution, counter kill. That was just, it felt like an obvious gank, and another ward placed up in the high ground here, maybe spotting out the rotation from SVG, but he was there for a while.
Weehaw baiting this.
They've got leap up for SVG. The Spirit's coming through. I don't know if he has the damage. He's going to leap into the Roche Pit, try to TP out. No Dragon Tail coming through, and he'll make it away. Lucky Roche did not aggro and get bashed, because that would have been awful.
Yeah, nice play from both of them, though. Weehaw with the bait to try to let him try to go for the haste rune, thinking he's going to get it, and then nice little leap from SVG. Nice individual plays.
Digital Chaos still doing okay. 1,500 net worth advantage, and I feel like they should have one considering their early game prowess.
Oh yeah, they have a half of a DK form too, so they're gonna have.
They're just gonna go bottom and go after another tier 1.
And that's both armlets finished up. DK and Slardar both pretty much have it done.
And Shazam are not anywhere near the capability of fighting at this point.
Their heroes just take a long time to really get ready. Like Morphling takes a very long time to really be fight ready. Invoker as well. So I think that the really scary thing for them is that DC can just group up with those 4 heroes and just knock down towers every time Dragon Knight.
And they want a tier 2 now too. I don't think they're gonna go for it completely because Weehaw's Dragon form is gonna run out. And while this is happening, it's just they are trying to get the tier 1 top for TC, but the Glyph comes out, the TP comes in, they're getting ready for Moo. He's been farming, he's got his Doom up and available. They're gonna look for it. He's gonna wait for him out. The TP a little too early. Good Earth Spike onto 2 just to make sure they don't continue onward. So it's a tower pressure at the very least.
Look at Moo's build though. He's just like, I am a beefcake. 1400 HP. He's just pure tankiness.
He's gonna have a drum. He's got his treads coming soon. Yeah, he's got full treads, full drum. Pretty soon here.
Everyone, all the 3 cores on the side of DC are gonna be around 1500 HP with the 2 armlets on, as well as just Moo.
How are you supposed to kill anybody right now?
And Moo's even buying a raindrop, too.
Yeah, this isn't looking great.
More tankiness for them.
This is a pretty sound game plan so far for Digital Chaos. The Vision War has not been won as hard as it was last game, but then again, there's no Bounty Hunter. Sox has still done a very good job getting good ward placements down.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised to see Shazam not go for like a dual smoke with the Lion and the Mirana. They just felt like they had to keep one of the supports with TC all the time instead of making a rotation, maybe going for resolution, not letting him just free farm that armlet, but they chose not to in this game.
So everybody TP's out top. Resolution knows that nobody's here, and they'll avoid ganks on their other heroes with Soxa. Elder Dragon form is going to come out. They're going to push pressure on the tier 1 tower.
They're setting up for bottom as well.
Yeah, they're going to TP and Doom, and they're...
Misery just hit sick. He eats the Tomonology. He has 6 on
They just don't have enough damage to bring this tower down by the time they get there and get ready to go. And there's not a glyph, but it's going to be tough. Here comes the smoke. Moo's going to be running in. There's no blink daggers yet for the initiation, but...
It's going to die first, though. If they
Can they
disengage
get back?
right away...
Can they get back now? They need to leave. TC, he sees the Doom. Moonlight Shadow, he gets doomed up. They relocate in. There's the Dragon Tail. They'll have to leave TC to die. He just couldn't waveform out in time. They want more, but they won't be able to find anything. They'll trade a tier 1 for their carry's life. That is not a good trade in Shazam's books, especially after the fact that they could just relocate back top, and Weehaw goes to work on this tier 1 tower himself.
Again, great heads-up plays by DC, recognizing that they can't defend that tower, but they can at least try to chase them out and get a kill. And I feel like it's a little bit of a misplay there from TC, not starting to back up a bit sooner.
Yeah, he should have realized that the boar was going to finish it off. TC gets a little too ahead of himself, and he's third in net worth, but that death is certainly not going to help. The Beastmaster, the Invoker are doing pretty well. The Doom is up there as well, as we talked about the drum and the Infused Raindrop, the Windlace, which will be turned into a drum with the treads. I don't know, man. I feel like DC are in a very good spot, but not to. I think Shazam they have good chances late game when it comes down to it, because they have the Midas on the Invoker, and as long as TC stays alive and farms, they can get this late game, I think.
Yeah, nice instant D ward coming out from SVG. Soxa denies it.
Yeah, they were trying to give it to the line, I think.
I think he actually just lost vision, because
Oh.
the Sentry only gives vision for a short period of time when you place it.
Yeah.
And then he shot an arrow, he didn't kill the ward, and yeah, great deny there from Soxa. Denying a ward. Always good stuff.
TC is going to walk right in front of Observer Ward. There is a lot of heroes mid for DC. Weehaw will be scouted Misery as well. They'll see all three, and TC will waveform up and just start to work on the jungle, whereas MSS will use your Midas. MSS, use your Midas. Mojo. There you go. Yeah, all right. And his drum's going to be done soon. So it's that core start for an Invoker. When you get that, you start doing some stuff and hopefully getting involved in kills, but they still have a ways to go, I think, for Shazam, right? Right, Fogg?
Yeah, definitely. It's just going to be really hard for them to fight. They have to pick fights around the Doom and around the Dragon Knight ultimate.
TP's top. And there's the drum pop. Replicate out, MSS TP in the tree line, and he will make it away. Nicely done. They're splitting up the map. They're doing what DC was doing in the first game. Splitting up the map, avoiding fights, doing their best.
Yep.
And it's just, right now, they're staying in it. Net worth-wise, 2,000 is not much, considering how the beginning of this game has gone. The Invoker now second in net worth. No Midas is up on the DC squad. They have those armlets. They're going to get the blink soon on the Slardar. He just about has it.
Midas on Dragon Knight.
He feels like this might go a little bit later, so he's picked up Midas for himself.
He did that in his other Dragon Knight game. I don't know if both, but he did that in one of them. He went the bots, Midas, AC, armlet into like Daedalus and stuff.
Shazam
a lot
setting
of
up on bottom. Resolution would be the target, but they actually are going to get wraparound down by Moo. Vision. Jason's going to walk up. Doom's going to come through onto MSS, and that's a lot of their damage now gone. And Jason doesn't get the finger off. They're going to find more. SVG's going to get caught. Great relocate in for Misery. Time to leave for everybody else. They Moonlight Shadow. Brax will get out. He's got a TP scroll. TC will continue to farm mid, but this is immediately going to be Roche time for Digital Chaos. And this is a bit too aggressive coming out for Shazam. And it does not pay off, and watch how fast this Roche dies.
DC with another perfect read, though. Just like the last game, they know exactly where Shazam's going to be, and they put a ward down, and yeah, Moo just walks in, and that's basically what they need to do with their lineup. Moo just needs to be that tanky frontliner, and he doesn't care. They have to blow absolutely everything on him to kill him at this point.
MSS and Brax still have not left. They need to leave now. They need to immediately TP, and they will do so.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very scary. Oh my god, if that Wave of Terror hit, he would have been dead.
Yeah, very close.
Whew.
Once they have Brax's like book 3 up, they're going to be able to focus down on the target, but without it, they lack some damage in their lineup for now.
And TC, he continues to be the one that they're going to have to pin their hopes on. That and MSS, but he gets doomed very quickly. And I would not be surprised to see maybe a Lincoln Sphere for himself later on down the game.
Yeah, like I was saying in the drafting phase, though, I felt like I was saying, SVG does need to do a lot, and I don't feel like he was able to do too much in this laning phase.
But the thing is, we saw this from Misery. He's doing the exact same thing Misery did in their series earlier. He's going to go for Midas. He's picked up the Gloves of Haste. So SVG is going to try to get to that Aghanim Scepter a little bit later on into the game and become that core that we saw Misery become in game number 3, I want to say. I think so. Yes. And here's a smoke from Digital Chaos. They have the Aegis on Resolution, so even if they bring him down, it's not going to matter. Moose coming in. He's going to be the bait.
The thing is, though, about this, like the Midas, Mirana, and everything, and him becoming like a stronger core, they want the Lion Blink, and I feel like him going for the Midas on the Mirana is going to just kind of cripple the Lion a bit.
Yeah, Jason is far away from that. He's only level 6,
and
too.
When you really think about it, what's a... Sure,
Rex? Oh, Roar. Use your Roar. Oh, I should have used your Roar. You're dead now. He's going to get his Necro off. He does get the Roar off. He might actually live through this. Now, Swap comes back, and there's the Spirits to get him. Bring him down. Misery's low. He's actually going to go down to the tower. Earth Spike will connect on Soxa. They relocated. No, it's going to be the waveform. Soxa taking some hits. There's the buyback coming out from the Isle. Relocated. Jason in trouble. Inferno Blade stun onto TC. They blow him up. Arrow's going to come through, but it's too late. Without that tanky frontliner, you can't really do much. If you're Shazam, you get brought down so damn quickly. They just all wrapped in. All 5 of them were there ready to go.
Was a buyback from Misery, but a good buyback there.
And they could just start pressuring the tier 3 tower, I think. And that TC kill is absolutely critical, too.
They don't have to. I was going to say they shouldn't do that.
That TC kill is, well, at least he bought his Lincoln Sphere, so there's that. That's the one good outcome out of this, is that he has that now. He will at least survive a little bit longer.
And the Midas finished up for Mirana. But like I was going to try to say was, I don't really feel like what... Sure, the Aghanim's Mirana is going to be able to pull out a little bit more damage and stuff and like push out waves better. But in the middle, in these fights, when is he really going to be in a position to be dropping multiple Starfalls? I feel like if he's in the middle of the fray of DC's heroes, he's just going to be dead.
Yes.
So that kind of...
Well, that's the thing that we talked about, the tanky frontliner. There is no tanky frontliner, like an Axie Blink Call or something like that. To have somebody to deter their attention from the Mirana itself, or whoever for that matter. There's nobody. Exactly. Whereas everybody's tanky for DC, so they have plenty of them. Brax will have enough money for his Necro 2, but it looks like he might be saving up for a Blink Dagger instead. Understandably so.
The wave is just constantly being pushed into Shazam right now. All 3 waves being forced onto their side, and DC has a lot of liberty to just kind of choke them out a bit, take the jungle from them, farm as much as possible, and pressure the towers, while Shazam only really has like 1 or 2 places to farm, and they're even being spotted under wards.
We've seen this before. You have an advantage, and you pressure it onto a tier 2 tower. Feels like we're watching game 1 again to a certain extent, but Shazam are less inclined to stay in their base and more inclined to go out and farm and see the rest of the world. Yeah,
thankfully they have TC farming, but him and SVG are the only ones farming right now. Mojo is now starting to do some Ancients, but that's suboptimal.
Yes, the Midas will help, but it'll only kind of keep him even, I think, for the most part, instead of accelerating him to that place where the Invoker wants to be. And he's going to have to TP back home, and here we go. The tier 3 tower push is coming, and they still have that Aegis up, I believe, on Rezo.
And BKB now on Weeha.
Yeah, and this is a tough defense. This tier 3 tower with the Elder Dragon form still going. They just popped it. Resolution being the bodyguard. The arrow will hit into Weeha, but that's not going to be the go time, I don't think. Resolution will instead start hitting the tower. I don't think they can give up a set of racks, but they might have to here.
They have no wave clear again. All I have is really like axes and stuff. This looks like it's just
Range
a Rax.
Rax is gone. Cold snap onto Resolution. They pop with the Replicate. Now the BKB goes, and he's in trouble, but they get a great Earth Spike off. Resolution might lose his Aegis here. Now they've doomed up TC as well, and he'll fall.
Dead. He doesn't even get the Morph off before the Doom.
SVG is getting chased down. They cannot get off that Moonlight Shadow fast enough. It comes too late. Earth Spike will come on to 2. Resolution's back up. They bought back in the Mirana. They have it for TC, but it's too late. They've lost their full set of racks top lane. And it is looking like a quick 2-0 start to this series at the very least, Fog.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like something we don't really like comment on because it's not really something that really matters, but I really like what Soxa did with his build this game as well. Not his items, but his skill build. Some people we've been seeing opting like multiple points in the Magic Missile. This game, he hard committed on the Vengeance Aura for that push and as well for that physical damage like we were talking about during the drafting phase. So I really like what he did here.
And they are just continuing to climb. That helps a lot. And they are now, after the fight towards bottom and then the Roche take, that pretty much net them 10,000 net worth. I mean, they were at like a 2,000 advantage, and then since then it has skyrocketed, unfortunately for Shazam. And DC will continue to take advantage of the map. They still have a tier 2 to take mid, so they won't be able to push into that tier 3 tower in the mid lane yet, but they can head over to bottom if they want to. Probably play for the next Aegis. Don't need to concern themselves too much. I mean, there is late game potential, as we've talked about, but TC has been getting killed left and right. You talked about the suboptimal farm for the Invoker for MSS. Brax has been getting picked off. SVG is still working on his first big item, which will be a long time from now. really nothing they could do at this point other than farm and hope to survive. They could try to smoke and find kills, but again, that vision advantage is coming out for Shazam, or excuse me, for DC. They have awards placed in good spots. They've got vision up in the enemy jungle, and they know exactly where Shazam are placed right now.
Yeah, and I feel like that's been the story of both games so far. Oh, they think it's a real Mirana mid. They swap it. They stun it. They're killing him.
Oh no, the illusion. Yeah, they probably feel a bit silly, but who hasn't made that mistake before? There's the Blink Dagger for Brax. He prioritizes over Book 3. Elder Dragon form will go, and they probably have to TP back to defend their
Dragon
tier 3.
Lance, Dragon Knight.
Yeah. Weeha, this is not the first time I've seen him pick up a Dragon Lance on a mid-hero that not necessarily wanted to do so.
It's not that bad.
I don't think
it's good stats.
It's actually,
look at how far he is.
It's actually pretty good.
He's at no
in
risk
Elder
there.
Dragon form, it's great. When you're out of it, it's useless. But, well, sort of. I guess it gives you strength, but
still decent.
Agility.
Not the worst, right? It's interesting. He's pretty.
I mean, listen. This is what they want to do. They want to siege. They want to take high ground.
Yeah.
And they're doing it
Right away,
with the Dragon Lance. Moonlight Shadow comes out. There's a sentry placed down, so they know that TC. I think he walked up, and they might have spotted out that little moon over the heads. And that should be the end of that push.
Look at how disciplined these guys are. I'm really liking this.
It's
by
just
DC.
they're playing so well. How do they not play this well in Game 2 and 3 of the last series? Maybe just Shazam had to sweat it out for the victory. You have to hope they don't get tilted after 2 games sweep like this, because I mean they have to come back 3 games if this game goes away and goes awry and not in their favor. 10,000 net worth advantage for DC, which I guess is not the worst number in the world at this point in time.
It's pretty bad. You don't really want to have like the Doom is almost sitting at the same net worth as your highest net worth hero as the offlaner. Looks like DC's just gonna wait for that Roshan and just play it safe. Just like they have been doing, calm, cool, and collected.
DC, Misery, Weeha are going to pick up that mech, it looks like, for Misery. And they have the Vlads for Moo, and as well as the Shiva's Guard coming out now, which is more items that Shazam really can't deal with. This is just such a greedy draft. They have nobody that can withstand this damage. Maybe Jason had a Blink to counter-initiate. Maybe SVG had his first real item. You could argue that they'd be in an okay spot. MSS has his Aghanim Scepter now, which is great, and he'll clear out the top wave and continue to make sure this is pushed out. But down bottom, there's some good vision here, and SVG's going to find himself on the receiving end of a death by Weeha. When they relocate in front of him, Brax knows this. He blinked to the trees without a TP scroll, and Wave of Terror will catch him, and he will almost assuredly fall, as Weeha gets now a double kill and a dominating spree.
No buybacks.
And it's just like, I think a lot of them were like, you don't expect a ward to be put there, right? You don't expect a ward at this point in time to be placed at the river kind of entrance.
Yeah, not so much, but maybe, I guess, versus a Wisp, you have to always be afraid of that relocate potential. But still, they can't just do nothing, They have to try to do something, and that's what they were going for there.
No buyback for the Mirana, down for 20 seconds. This tier 3 tower will almost surely fall, and then you have, of course, the Raxus to deal with. The Dragon Lance is pretty nice.
Yeah, DC just looking like they have more of a game plan going into these 2 games than Shazam.
Shazam have to figure out something and figure it out quick, whether in this game or the next. Roar's going to come out from the backside of the Misery, but Resolution immediately counter-initiates with a jump in, the stun. There's 2 stuns, in fact, with the Vengeful Spirit using her Magic Missile. Jason gets off an Earth Spike. It's only under 1. Deafening Blast comes out. Weeha has his BKB. They're overrunning them at this point, and it's really close to just GG out, and there it is. Brax calls that at 23 minutes in. They doom up TC for good measure. He's on the run, but he will not last for long as they've lost 4. And DC are up 2-0 and 1 game away from getting into the Manila Major just through the qualifiers.
Yeah, crisp execution, perfect movement basically throughout the laning phase, and just excellent warding, honestly. Like
this is exactly what we've seen from DC throughout the entire tournament, except for the last series, where they made 1 or 2 mistakes, but Shazam really just played well.
Yeah.
And they are not playing well. They don't seem to have a unified game plan. They're making mistakes in the draft. They're making mistakes in the game. So the Shazam we saw in the first series is not the same Shazam we are seeing now, unfortunately.
Yep. And it was just a really greedy draft picking that Morphling. Having Invoker and Morphling, you guys take so long to really build up and make moves. Like, which of your heroes is really going to make the first move then? Is Morphling going to make a gank, or is Invoker going to make the gank? You don't really expect either to. You're going to expect the Sunstrike, but Morphling is one of those heroes that takes a lot of time.
Yeah, and they didn't have the time. The armlets came out in quick succession, one after the other on the DK and on the Slaughter as well. So really what it comes down to is that you've got to figure out a game plan if you're Shazam for game number 3.
Yeah.
Get at least 1 game in your favor, go from there, build up some confidence, get back into the series, Fog. What do you think?
I can definitely agree with that. They have to just kind of put these last two games out of their mind, but just think about the way DC drafts, because these two looked pretty much like the comfortable DC drafts
Yeah.
that we were seeing previously.
We may see our last game of the entire Manila Major Hub, and, well, that would be a shame, but it could go 5 games still. We'll have to wait and see, guys. Make sure you guys stick around here. I'm Mott. With me is Fogged as well as Wetboss, and we will jump into our game number 3 when we take a quick break and get back. So see you guys soon.